Is Sam Parrish, and we're talking about understanding the elements of musical ensembles. So just like to talk you through kind of like how you organised your band, how you communicated, some of the interactions that you guys did with audience, like your listening skills, how you cooperated, rehearsed, how you chose your songs, and then just a little bit about sort of strengths and weaknesses of you guys as an ensemble.
Well, yeah. Okay, so yeah, for my gig that I did last time, about a couple of months ago now, so I worked with like the different band members and stuff, and like just chose like different instruments and stuff to like work with, and I chose a song that I was familiar with and was more kind of comfortable like in my vocal range and stuff, because I wanted to work on it as a vocalist, but I also chose it because it worked with a lot of the other band members with like instrumental wise and stuff, and I chose, like I said, I chose a song I felt comfortable with, and it was fun to perform, and it was like gave me good like stage presentation and stuff like that.
How did you listen to it, or how did you find the song? Did you have like a cassette, or how did you listen to it?
I think I found out about it through like Spotify.
Okay, Spotify, yeah. So
Yeah.
online stuff.
Yeah.
What about lyrics? How did you find lyrics?
Lyrics. So with any of my song like rehearsals and gigs and stuff, like I'd work with the lyrics that I found like online.
Okay, you find online lyrics. That's great.
Yeah.
So just type them into Google, or how did you find them?
Found them just from googling.
Okay, right. Yeah, cool.
Cool.
So talk about sort of like the band members and kind of what the roles were in the ensembles that you worked in.
Yeah, so for the musical ensemble for that gig, I had a guitarist, which was Barney, and I had a drummist, which was James, and a bass player Marcelo, and me as a vocalist. And also had Buddy doing like harmonies and stuff. But yeah, no, I worked with. I had to select the main instruments basically to make it kind of like come out as best as it could, and all the instruments were fit together as best as I could make them.
Okay, so who was playing like lead instruments and who was doing rhythm?
So rhythm was mainly done by the drums, to be honest, and the bass as well. Yeah, and for the lead instruments was mainly guitar and vocalist, I would say.
Okay, cool. And would you say that was, what kind of ensemble would you say that was?
It's kind of a mixture between, I want to say classical, or maybe...
What, like an orchestra?
No. So it's, more like a band, I suppose.
Okay, band.
So, but it was
Pop
like...
band, rock band, jazz band, any particular sort of...
Yeah, I'd say probably kind of like between like pop and kind of rock as well.
Okay.
Because obviously like the guitar adds a rock vibe.
Yeah.
But probably like a pop and rock band.
Okay. In terms of cooperation, can you give us some examples of how you guys cooperated in rehearsals? And...
Yeah, so especially like leading up to the gig, we had to fit in like as much run throughs as possible so we could do with the song, and so I made sure to like keep in contact with like all the other band members. So I'd like contact like Barney and people like outside, especially outside of school, to work with this song, just so it was like as high quality as we could perform, basically.
Okay, and then within the rehearsal, within like the rehearsals that you did at Music Workshop, how can you give an example of how you cooperated?
So yeah, it was basically just making sure that we communicated like our like honest opinions on like what could be changed and stuff, with like what instrument, like dynamics, and like making sure everyone knew like what they were doing as a band, basically.
Okay, cool. And then in terms of sort of musical interaction, like as a band, when you're in the room, when you're all playing, how did the musical interaction work? How did you sort of like make sure that the song sounded great to listen to?
So, like I said, with kind of like communicating our opinions and stuff, I think we just had to make sure like we like made sure everyone knew what they could do better as a band, and I think that affected how it sounded in the end, whereas if we kind of were doing less of that, it would have really affected how it was performed. But just making sure that like everything we did was like as best that we could, and making any necessary changes and stuff, really.
So what sort of communication strategies did you use while you were playing?
So like with when we were playing, like I made like eye contact with like the other band members to make sure that they knew if anything needs to be different, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. So for instance, when you were on stage, would eye contact and communication, would that help you know where you were in the song and when to change and things like that? Did that happen with the band?
So like for example, like if there's a bit where the instrumental changes quite a lot in like a certain part of the song, then I'd make eye contact with a certain band member.
Is there any particular song you can remember where you did that kind of thing, where you communicated where a change would happen, or?
Yeah. So for the Jackie and Wilson song, which I performed at the Chapel Arts, I had to make eye contact with Buddy coming up to the second chorus because I needed him to harmonise. So, yeah.
Okay, that's really good. In terms of choosing the repertoire, how did you make sure that you ended up with songs that you all enjoyed playing and all came out really well?
So I had to make sure basically that we had as a band, we were doing what we felt we all wanted to put into the song. So we made it slightly different to the original, and we added in, like I said, like what everybody wanted to do, which made it different from the original. Yeah, just incorporating everyone's ideas, really.
Okay, and in terms of like technical ability, did that factor in, and did that mean that you could choose certain songs and not others, or?
Yeah, so like I was, there are a few songs that I chose to do originally before that, but not like didn't really work as a band. So I workshopped like some different songs to see which would work better, and I think that affected like how we worked as a band a lot.
Okay, great. In terms of like the band roles that you guys ended up doing, can you give us some examples of like how people took leadership roles at certain times, and like maybe like also on stage, how it varied, didn't it? It seemed to vary. Some rehearsals, yeah. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, through our when we were performing like the Hosier song, and again at Chapel Arts, like it sort of like rotated around of who was kind of the main artist and who was kind of leading the song and stuff.
And leading the rehearsal.
Yeah, and leading rehearsal as well. Like if somebody was stood up and said, I want this changed, and whatever, they would be kind of the one who was the main focus, I guess. But even when we were performing, like, it would change from, like, if there was just a drum beat going, they would be the main one who was, attention was on, and then it would, change depending on who was playing. Who was playing,
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Can you give me some, just talk about the front person role then, so did you take front person role on some of the songs?
Yeah, so I probably, as I was a vocalist, I probably took like the most front role.
Yeah. And what did that involve?
It involved, so obviously, I think it takes like the most confidence probably, but it definitely, like, you really need to work on your stage presentation, especially if you're at the front.
So stage presentation, stage act, and...
and like interacting with the audience and stuff.
Okay, so yeah, that's great. I think you talked about that earlier on, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Sam.